Danger is often unpredictable. It may appear from where you don't expect it at all, or it may not appear at all where it would be logical for it to be. Near-death experience captured on camera. Let's go.
You will never get into such a situation because I wish you good luck.
You need to be incredibly lucky and also have nerves of steel so that after such a flip, you don't lose your head and continue the race. Usually, with age, people become more cautious, some even too much, but it seems that in this case the system has failed. Sometimes the equipment fails, and it's all the more insulting when it happens at the most crucial moment. It looks like this motorcycle just decided that he was born to dance. And it turns out that these are far from isolated cases. Such performances sometimes look even more interesting than the competitions themselves. The main thing is not to get in the way of raging equipment. During the hammer throw, the athlete launched a projectile into an extremely sensitive spot for the judge. This definitely does not deserve a top score. Unfortunately, skydiving is not complete without incidents. Just imagine what this guy experienced. It is unlikely that the driver was going to overtake so enchantingly, but the slippery road and summer tires made their adjustments. Recently, people have reached the point of absurdity in their desire to make cool content for social networks. But shooting a video on the edge of a cliff is still too much. As the woman who was driving the Jeep later said, at first she thought that something got into the car, and at the same second she was blinded by a flash. It turned out that because of the torrential rain, lightning struck the car twice. Fortunately, only the rear window was damaged due to the incident, and the passengers and surrounding drivers got off with a slight fright. Of course, it's a pity for the car, but on the other hand, now these people have a second birthday. When an angry bull tries to tear you apart, hitherto unseen abilities can open up in you, but it should be noted that it looked extremely impressive. Annual motorcycle competitions for Pikes Peak gather thousands of fans from all over the world, and in this case not only the track itself, but also accidents on it can be very unusual. However, the participants were still lucky. The owner of the motorcycle that flew from above got off with only a minor shoulder injury, and the author of the video with small bruises. For those who are going to manage construction equipment, knowledge of simple laws of physics is not enough. It is necessary to carefully study the corporate and be able to determine the stability of the crane. Otherwise, you can see for yourself what can happen. A downpour in tandem with a hurricane. This is the case when it is better not to leave the house unless absolutely necessary, and even better not to go out at all. Car racing spectators are divided into three groups. Some know by name and in the faces of all the champions, the second can recognize each car even by the sound of the engine, and the third, which by the way the majority, watch the race solely for the sake of accidents, heart-rending screeching brakes, and the sound of crushed metal. It looks like athletes will never unlearn how to give interviews and talk idly on the field while someone is training behind. This time the guy was lucky that his friend has such excellent lateral vision and reaction.
Can you not be 100? Right, okay. Thanks, mate.
This could have been the first ever collision of an airplane and a motorcycle, but fortunately this footage is just a carefully orchestrated stunt. Today, rodeo can be confidently attributed to one of the types of non-traditional equestrian sports. The participant needs to climb on a semi-wild horse and stay on it for about 8 seconds. It is very difficult to call this entertainment ethical, but the horses themselves can quite stand up for themselves. The barge crashed into the shore, as a result of which everything that was there went to the bottom. It still looks pretty formidable, but there will be a lot of questions for the driver. After watching this video, you will no longer doubt that a single car can be the result of a major accident. And apparently everything happened because this smart guy accidentally drove past a turn and decided to correct his mistake. As a rule, dad becomes the first superhero in every child's life. And some fathers have such a lightning-fast reaction that they seem to know in advance what will happen to their children in the next second. After a collision with a rival, Michael Jones' car crashed into the fence and caught fire, but after a few seconds the rider was rescued, and it was not the employees of the track, but his own father who did it. When he saw that the car caught fire, he fearlessly jumped over the fence and ran to pull out the driver, and when he was sure that his son was okay, he returned to the car to activate the fire extinguishing system. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your like and write in the comments which video you like the most. See you soon. Peace.